Hello, sixth grade. How are you? It's me again, your English teacher, Wade from Ru'al Farouk Academy. Today we are going to start our story, The Great Fire, on page 62 and 63. The outcomes for our lesson today. Students should be able to recognize the ideas of the story, read the story, and answer some questions. So, prepare your books and be ready. This is our story, and the title is The Great Fire. النار التي حصلت وين? In London. We will know what did the children do, Alex, Phoebe, and Patrick, and what did the other people do, and where did they go? أين ذهبوا? Okay, let's start. The Great Fire. The children walked along with Mr. Fisher. The fire started just after midnight in a baker's, he said. The wind was very strong, so the fire got bigger and bigger. The people can't fight it any more and they want to get away. I've just been to look for my brother's family, but they aren't in their house anymore. The children اللي هم Alex, Phoebe and Patrick, they were with Mr. Fisher. He told them that the fire started بدأت after midnight بعد منتصف الليل. Where? In a baker's في المخبز. The wind was very strong. الرياح كانت كتير قوية. So لذلك the fire got bigger and bigger. امتدت الحريق. The people can't fight it anymore. لم يستطيعوا الناس يقاوموا النار. So they want to get away. كان لازم إنهم يطلعوا من بيوتهم. Then Mr. Fisher said, I've just been to look for my brother's family. أنا كنت راجع just to look for my brother's family. عائلة أخي. لكن they aren't in their house anymore. لم يجدهم في their house. Look at question number 1. When did the fire start? When did the fire start? Good. The fire started after midnight. Question 2. Where did the fire start? Where? أين? The fire start? Good. In the baker's. في المخبز. Question number 3. According to the paragraph, why did the fire got bigger and bigger? حسب الفقرة اللي عنا. Why did the fire got bigger and bigger? Excellent. Because the wind was very strong. لأنها الرياح كانت كتير قوية. فساعدت على امتداد الفire. Okay? At that moment, there was a loud crash as a house near them started to burn and fall down. Let's hurry, said Mr. Fisher. The fire is getting closer. Come home with me. My wife and our 3 children are waiting there. We have got 2 horses and a cart, and we want to save our things and then go to my wife's father's house in the countryside. You can come with us. Have you ever been to the countryside? Yes, replied Patrick. I went with my mom to my grandparents' house last summer, but we went by train. Mr. Fisher looked at him. By train? I have never heard of that. The 3 friends smiled at each other. بينما كانوا ماشيين to his house, they heard a crash in a house near them, and the fire get closer. بلشت النار تقرب عليهم. Mr. Fisher suggests that they can come to his home with him. يروحوا معاه على البيت. His wife and his children are waiting him. Why? Because they have got جابوا 2 horses and a cart وعربة وأحصنة. They want to save their things. بدهم ياخدوا أغراضهم and then go where? To his wife's father's house. لمنزل والد زوجته in the countryside. في المدينة المجاورة. Then Mr. Fisher asked them. سألهم. Have you ever been to the countryside? عمركم رحتوا على countryside? Patrick said yes, and he said he went with his mom to his grandparents' house in the last summer. And he said they went by a train. But Mr. Fisher said, I have never heard of that. ما عمري سمعت إنه there's a train in the countryside. The 3 friends smiled at each other. Question number 1. Why did Mr. Fisher say, let's hurry? Excellent. Because there was a loud crash as a house near them started to burn and fall down. Question 2. Where are they going to go with his wife and children? Bravo, to his wife's father's house in the countryside. منزل والد زوجته. Question number 3. How did they want to go? كيف بدهم يذهبوا? They want to go by a cart and 2 horses. عربة و 2 horses. By the river Thames, people were loading their things onto boats. Some people even had their chickens with them. Suddenly, Patrick shouted, Look at that boat! Out on the water, a man was getting from a raft onto a boat, where his wife was waiting with their 2 children and all their furniture. As he stepped onto the boat, it rocked and 1 child fell into the water. لما وصلوا النهر شافوا إيش؟ All the people were loading their things. كل الناس كانت عم تاخد أغراضها والأشياء اللي بتلزمها onto boats. في القوارب تضعها في القوارب عشان إيش؟ يهربوا. Some people even had their chickens with them. بعضهم أخذ الدجاج. Suddenly, Patrick shouted. وفجأة Patrick shouted. صرخ لأنه شاف this man and this boat. Look at that boat out of the water. A man was getting from a raft onto a boat. هذا المان كان واقف على الطوافة اللي هي خشبة منطوف فيها على الماء وبده ينط from the raft to the boat. And his family were in the boat or was in the boat, his wife and his children. As he stepped onto the boat, أول ما حط رجله على البوت it rocked. البوت شو ماله القارب؟ اهتز القارب. rocked اهتز and 1 child fell into the water. وأحد من أطفاله سقط في الماء. Okay. Question number 1. What did the people do? شو كانوا يعملوا people? They were loading their things, chickens and furniture onto the boats. Okay, question number 2. What happened to the man's child? شو صار في الطفل? 1 child fell into the water. سقط في الماء. Patrick dived in and swam. He grabbed the little boy and swam to the boat with him. Thank you so much, said the woman. Then she took off her bracelet and gave it to Patrick, saying, Please take this. So he put it in his pocket. Patrick, when he saw the child, he dived, غوص في الماء, and swam to the children and grabbed him. grabbed يعني مسكه. Then he swam to the boat with the child. سبح لعند القارب وهو معاه الطفل. His mom, or the woman, thanked Patrick. Then she gave her bracelet to Patrick. أعطته البراسلت. And said, please take this. So he put it in his pocket. أخذها ووضعها في جيبه. Look at question number 1. What did Patrick do when he saw the child? Bravo! He dived in and swam. Then he grabbed the boy and swam to the boat with him. Question 2. What did the woman do? She said thank you and took off her bracelets and gave it to Patrick. أعطت سوارتها لباتريك. And the last question. What did the pronoun he refers to? He. So he put it in his pocket. He refers to, excellent, to Patrick. Bravo. They ran on. After quarter of an hour, they arrived at Mr. Fisher's house, where his wife and children were already waiting with some furniture and small chests on the cart. Can you help us with this? Asked Mr. Fisher, pointing to a very large chest. Together they managed to lift it onto the cart. But it was now very full. Everyone get on, said Mr. Fisher. We must leave. After quarter of an hour, بعد ربع ساعة, they arrived at Mr. Fisher's house. وصلوا لبيته, where his wife and the children were waiting them with their furniture and a small chest on the cart. مجهزين الأغراض. But there is a large chest, and Mr. Fisher asked them to help him. Together they managed to lift it onto the cart. تعاونوا مع بعض لحتى ينقلوه للعربة. لكن العربة صارت full or very full. Everyone get on, Mr. Fisher said. كل واحد يصعد على الجميع يصعد على العربة. We must leave. نحن لازم أن نغادر. أو يجب أن نغادر. Look at question number 1. When did they arrived at Mr. Fisher's house? Excellent. After quarter of an hour. Question 2. What did Mr. Fisher ask the children to do? Bravo! To help him to put the chest onto the cart. Clear? At that moment, a woman arrived with some small children who looked really tired. I found these children. They can't run anymore. The woman said, please take us with you. في هاي الأثناء لما هم بدهم يغادروا وصلت woman with some small children معها أطفال and they looked really tired. يبدو أنهم تعبانين. She said, I have found these children. وجدت هدول الأطفال and they can't run anymore. ما بيستطيعوا أنهم يركضوا أو يروحوا لأي مكان. Then the woman asked Mr. Fisher to take them with them. Take the children with them. Please take us with you. Look at question 1. Who arrived when they left? Bravo! A woman with some small children. Question 2. How did the children look? How did they look? Excellent. They looked really tired. Number 3. What did the woman ask them to do? برافو. To take the woman and the children with them. إنهم ياخدوهم معهم. Okay, we have finished our lesson for today. Thank you and be ready for the next class to continue our story.